Hey guys, it's me and Donna. But you knew that.
Yeah. We're excited today. We got some really good stuff for you.
Yeah. You know, last week at the end of Donna's video, which was her very first video, she took control of herself. I came in and I teased you all with a Bisou color teaser. And then we were going to do Chocolate Kiss and Matte Black and all that this week, but
It rained
yeah.
on our parade.
It's raining out there, and it's like 40 degrees, and not a good day to be out spray painting. And that's what I wanted to do, was take you out front and spray paint. Plus, I probably should have used the weed whacker too. It's kind of weedy underneath my rug. I wasn't thinking about that. But anyway, there are numerous reasons why it's not going to work to do that. But hey, you know how to use spray paint. I gave you the teaser last week. Give it a try. You know, I've got some finished pieces over here that I am going to work with today. But we got to doing some brainstorming this morning, Donna and I, which we do quite well.
Yes.
We do. And it reminded me of something that happened to me at a show a long time ago. My mother was the best helper to me at shows. She went, especially the end of year shows where I really had a lot of traffic and made a lot of my money. She would always go with me at least 2 days and come set up and all that. So we're taking all the things out of the hampers and we're putting them on the tables and trying to make everything look real good. And she's over there talking to herself. I'm like, what's she saying? So I'm getting up close to her and she's muttering to herself, "Who would buy this?" And I'm like, what? My own mother, my dear mother who loves me and thinks I'm just really great, is saying, "Who would buy this?"
Well,
I mean, it's just really, really encouraging right before the show opens.
The best thing she could have said, though.
It was, because it made me think from there going forward that there are times that we need to take a really good, careful look at our stock and think about why it's not selling.
We do.
It's not always because it's bad parts or because we did a bad job. It's just not right for our customership.
And that's it. We need to look at it from a customer's point of view. There's two ways of looking at something, because we do want to enjoy ourselves while we are creating our work of art. But to keep in mind the customer is what keeps us from having a problem with getting it, our pieces out on time, quickly. We don't want stock just laying around. So what do we do when we get something that's just laying around, Brenda?
Well, then, like we said, we need to take a good long look at it. I mean, people do this all the time with their homes. In your home, you think about, I need to remodel my bathroom. So people are remodeling homes all the time, redoing their homes. Maybe it's a home they built.
Or I get sick of furniture and I just want something different, so I go and I'll look at something used and I want a certain line. I change the color. I can add something to it or refinish it. So this is the principle that we're talking about.
Yeah, people go to Goodwill and they buy the old clothes that are out of date and they chop them up because there's good fabric in them. And they alter clothes. Yeah. Many of you have the habit of going around buying vintage jewelry and taking it apart and remaking it into other things. And sometimes that's fine, sometimes that isn't. That's a subject for another day, and I've done lots of videos on it. But the point is,
we can do this with whatever pieces that we have in our inventory.
You can repurpose your own stuff. You don't need to just chop that price and mark it down. Then it may not still go. Why? It's because
maybe we made too many of the same thing.
Yeah, maybe you made 10 of them. Maybe you have a line and you made 10 and 5 sold and 5 of them now they're tired of it.
And it's not that hard of a fix.
No, so we're going to talk about repurposing your own jewelry, and we're going to do it to ourselves. Things that we're looking at hard right here in the shop and redoing. So, like I always say, get on over here, and I'm going to show you a few things I did. Then I'm going to step off and let Donna talk to you about repurposing some cameo jewelry we had. So, come on over. Okay, so it's the Brenda Sue part. And I'm going to talk to you about some brooches that we had in the shop. I had this little brooch for $15. I don't know, that might have been kind of cheap for that, come to think of it. But at any rate, nobody's buying them. And I've had these almost since I opened the shop. which is a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we weren't paying attention.
No, we weren't paying attention. But when we redid the shop, we started paying attention to a lot of things, just like Donna did the video last week on paying more attention to how you display things and the colors that you're using. So now we're looking at the jewelry itself. These are the pieces that I teased you with last week, with the colors, that you can make collar necklaces from. And we're still going to do that sometime. But I found that these pieces also work very well on the backs of these heart charms. Even a small one. This was a small little tack pin. And I put this on one of the black ones. And the shape of the heart just, it bonded to this dapped out filigree beautifully. And I was able to leave the little dangle on it, and it hangs nice. All I need to do now is put some chain of some kind, and I've got a nice necklace. And necklaces, for me right now, sell pretty good, probably the best. Necklaces and earrings, I would say, the best. And I even took this little, I can't remember the dimensions of it. We moved it over there with your things?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this base 0595. It's 22 by 30 about. Anyway, but I took it and I glued it over because you can see, you know, the glue would seep through this. So after I applied the piece, and I'm going to show you this in a second, I was able to just take and glue this over there. Of course, I've had too much caffeine today, so a little shaky, but that's okay. I have a nice place I can sign my work now. And here's the point. Here's one I did already. Okay? I'll get these out of the way. It's this size. This one said Sweet Love. These are ones I engraved, and there's a video on engraving too with the Dremel. I happened to do it freehand. I had a whole line based on this freehand engraving, so it's kind of my shtick, if you want to call it that. But I bonded this to one of those, as you can see. I still have to sign it. But it had these little dangles and stuff on it. It had a kind of a big key thing hanging here, which really didn't suit it. You know, I really should have taken a more critical look at that. You know, size is important. You don't want to put like a great big blob of a thing in the middle and little things on the side. That's just not good balance. So I took that off and I rebalanced it. And then I took some chain that I had and cut it off in segments. And I added these pretty beads, which I have no idea where I got them. They're not something I carry. We all have beads like that you picked up somewhere. This is a neat thing. I got to show you this. These just came in. We just got 40 pounds of raw brass. Most of it was restocks, but there's some new stuff too. Shelley's getting in on Bisou Boutiques, where of course we have the good stuff. These are so awesome. You know those tulip flower beads that have been so popular for so long? Well, now they have them in miniature size. And they're not exactly what I'd call cheap.
But they're so
in fact, the
adorable.
tulip beads are going to have to go up a little bit because they charged me more now and I can't absorb it anymore. But it's not going to be a lot, so don't worry. These are like 95 cents a piece. So if you're making earrings, believe me, you can afford it. And you can color them too with some spray paint or whatever. These are they're just too cute for words. And they are FIG 01307. And I just got like a gross to begin with, and I've used a few myself. So if you want some of these beads, my big piece of advice for you is, if you want them soon, come and get them soon. I do have more on order, but it takes a while to get them because they have to make them. But you can see how I used them here. I have 4 in this piece, so I used them as bead caps. But these also will make awesome earrings, probably even better than the big size ones, because they're,
or at least an option.
You know, or an option, because some people might like those great big ones, but the little ones are maybe more miniature, more delicate.
For their face.
Yeah, it depends. So anyway, so I used them there. But you can see how that went. So anyway, so now I have this one. I'm going to take this off here, and I'm going to show you how I applied it. So we'll get rid of the card. And so now I got this back thing. I'm not going to be able to save this. My big hope is that I can bust this off here cleanly and not have to have a mess. But it'll work anyway, even if I can't. So what I'm going to do is E6000 is kind of rubbery. It's very secure, but it's a little bit rubbery. So a lot of times if you just take and you work the piece a little bit, and this is probably going to come off by itself. Yeah. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get. I might have done better just to get this off of here first. And you want to be careful you don't hurt yourself. You know what's best thing probably to do?
I would say, yeah.
Is let's just nip it off. Now let's take it down here so you can't see it. I'm doing it. It's garbage. I could actually probably just leave this on, but I'm still going to attempt to get this off. That did it. Did you see what I did?
Nice.
I hope you saw that. If not, I just went like this and it came up.
Yeah.
Okay, this residue here is no big deal. No one's going to see that. If you want to take it off, go for it. You don't have to. For the sake of time today, I'm not going to. It won't make it any less quality. So now I'm going to take one of these little matte black sprayed ones, and this is sealed too. And I am going to take this little mini tube of E6000, which I think we sell these for $1. If you have a small project and you don't like to use a lot of this stuff, this is a good deal.
It is.
Because you don't have the waste. You tend to use it all up. In the big tubes, a lot of times I find myself wasting a lot. I had a lady come in the other day and bought 5 or 6 of them because she says, every time, she says, I know I'm spending more for this, but in the long run I don't think I am because I don't waste. Okay, so I've got a little bit and I'm going to spread it here on the inside, carefully. Not too glurpy. Then what I want to do, so I'll get a good, oops, I don't want that in there. Okay, then I'm going to take a little bit and I'll put it right here. Now, yeah, this is going to go through, but I'm going to show you how I covered that up and clean that up. It just helps to make a better bond, okay? All right, so now I want to get this on nice and square, and I hope I'm getting my fingers out of the way because I really want you to be able to see. But it's very important to get this on nice and square and have it stick. And I think I need more glue. Yeah, there's not enough there to hold it. Should have had more.
You don't know till you start.
No, and then keeping my beads out of it would be nice. But you know, you can always clean that up later. You know, if you get a little bit of E6000 on it, you know, just take a little bit of acetone, and you can get it off. It's just not a big deal. Clean up with this stuff is not bad. The main thing is keeping it off your fingers, and I've got some on mine, which doesn't make me very happy, but I'll get it off real quick. Maybe Donna, you could get me a tissue or something.
For something. That's exactly what I'm doing. I was looking for
A little bit more. That's called a starved bond. Starved bond, when you don't have enough on there. Okay? So now I should have plenty. So what I'm going to do is, to keep my beads out of it, I think the better way would be, let me get this on camera for you. See, I've got some things on this side, you know, that's assembled to the front so it makes it not flat. I am going to put it this way and press it down in. Yep, this is the way to do it. And then I'm going to kind of smooth it. When I'm done with this, Donna, I'll take that from you because I might get more on me.
Just
I want to get the point lined up. There. What did you want to tell me?
Just mentioning no eating or drinking.
No eating or drinking while you're using E6000. Okay, now my loose piece. This piece. That's what I'm going to put on there to cover that. So I'll get a good bit there. Not so much it comes squishing out all over, but enough to hold it. I'm going to need a little bit more. Right in the middle is the best. Okay, I think this should be good now. Yeah. And I'm going to probably have to prop this so that it lays right and it will dry in the correct position, not all crooked, so that I have to break it apart and redo it. So I'm going to get my points lined up. So this is going to be important to be even here. You could even do this in 2 stages. You could glue your front to this and then come back and do the back. I'm doing it all at once because I can. I've done it before. But so now I want to set this over here and kind of prop it. So I'm going to take a couple of these guys and kind of try to prop it a little bit so that it doesn't. Sometimes there's a science to propping this stuff. I've used this stuff for so many years, been through so many adventures with it. Anyway, I can adjust it later, but in the long run, once it's done, I'm going to be able to pick this up with my pliers under here, get under here, and I'm going to be able to attach chain to this piece. I'm going to be able to sign my work, which is always a good thing. Yeah, there we go. Donna, you're just going to have to deal with this for your segment.
No problem.
I don't want to move it. I'll fine tune that later once we get off camera. But anyway, that gives you the basic idea, and you can prop it however you want. I just happen to have these here. But
Propology 101.
Propology 101. But basically, and I don't know where the lid went to this, but I'll find that too. But that's basically, you know, how I took a brooch and made it into, here it is, and made it into something that's viable to sell and is going to work out. Here's my stuff to get this off my hand. I'll throw these out. So, there's one idea. If you have some charm jewelry or you've made some brooches or something and they're not moving, maybe they'd be better as the focal for a cuff. That would have gone good on the middle of a cuff. Or as a necklace or something else besides what it is. Okay, so I'm going to step aside here and get this out of the way. And Donna is going to come back with a segment on having another look at some cameo jewelry. Okay?
So I'm looking through some of these pieces, and I noticed this one. I loved it, but I thought, you know, this is sort of incomplete looking. I love the shape. I love the chain. I love that there's something going on with the chain. So I'm thinking, you know, next month is our featuring cameos. Wouldn't a cameo look nice on there? So I got one. I set it on there and I thought, you know, it's just not going together as far as color wise. What could I do? And then what we did was we have a grouping of what we use. Brenda can mention it. But we went ahead and we put some colorization on that cameo. And now the colors just go together, they vibrate. So what would we do? Well, we would go ahead and glue this cameo into one of the
lace edge mounts.
Yes, and the lace edge mount, and I would give you the numbers for that. The cameo is cam 06323.
And we'll have to get the number for the lace edge mount because that's just the backing.
Yes. Oh, I should have had that out.
That's okay. We'll get it.
Okay. But I loved it. Once we did that, I thought, you know what? Everything is right with this necklace. And then what we'll do we won't do it now, but for the sake of time, we'll just do it later. Go ahead and glue it. And then just like Brenda did on the back, we can also put this to help cover up the glue. We have a place to sign. And that would really make that piece, I think, be what it needs to be. The number on those bases, one more time, is base 0595. And they're very reasonable. That was probably my favorite example of how to just spruce up that one. And we made quite a few flower bracelets. And, you know, some of them sold real well. But we have a few left. So what can we do? I was looking at that and I thought, well, to give some dimension to that flower with some paint or something like that. But then Brenda and I were talking. She had a beautiful example of what she's done with one of these bracelets that she's made a necklace out of, and she just added a lot at the bottom. She put just different things with the chain to make it, you know, all blend together. I thought that was a wonderful example of how to upgrade, you know, this flower bracelet into something that would be really outstanding and that should sell quite quickly. Then we noticed this bracelet, and I just really wasn't coming up with any ideas, and Brenda has quite a few ideas on that she'd like to share with you. But I think this could really be made into something special.
Okay, I'll show you what I thought I might do to this. I will need my flesh cutters and my needle nose pliers, and then a flat nose pliers. But as you can see, like, I'd like to make this into a necklace, but these are going to bump right here. So I need to get them out of there. So how am I going to do that? Well, as you can see, this is made on a bracelet blank. Now, we are out of stock on these bracelet blanks right now, but they're going to come back in real soon. We're going to have them real soon. We have the 13 millimeter, the smaller ones. We do have them in stock, but the big ones are out. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to release that. So you can see how easy it is to work with these. I'm just pulling it back and releasing. But I don't want to lose that piece. It's so easy on the other side. Okay, so now I want to put that back. Which it should just go back right in place. Pretty much, yep. Okay, so I've got now this, and it's still on the pad. Sometimes we even have this piece singly at the site where you just buy those.
That's going to be nice for winter.
We might have some. Okay, so I released that. So now, I could just do this. I've got that out of there.
What about adding some more to the
yeah,
bottom?
and I think what I'll do is make this more into a high-low type thing. So I might, right here, nip it. And maybe just a few more, maybe right here.
I see where you're going with that now. That's nice.
And I should have done that away, because that wasn't good safety practice.
We have safety glasses on.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, imagine that. So now what we could do, now this is just for the sake of time. I've got these little pearly deals here. I'm just going to open them up. These aren't my nice check ones, but I'm just going to slide that on there just to give you an idea. Yeah, this is basically an ideas type thing, and it's, you know, we're not really showing you anything start to finish. We're showing you some techniques and what you might do. That's basically to get you to reevaluate what you have. It's not always necessary to just give it away or mark it down, slash the price down to nothing. I have a necklace on the wall over there I'm looking at right now. And I like it because it's a big, big over-the-top piece. But it's got so many components on it. If I strip that thing down, I could probably make 5 viable necklaces that would get me more money than that one piece. That people in this area would buy because they're too timid to wear big jewelry like that. And if I put it online, it still might take a while to get a buyer.
Okay.
You know, not that there's anything wrong with a necklace. I love it, but it's just too much for in here. I like looking at it on the wall, but on the wall is not making me a paycheck. So I've got this now. So I could separate these here.
I think I would.
And we showed you how. And come on, being a little bit stubborn. We won't need this link then. Now we have this. And I love this bracelet, but it was just too funky for this area. It just was not the right thing for this area.
You don't know till you try, though.
I didn't put it online. It might have worked out there, but I think then what I would do with this is I would continue to put a little bit more chain in there, or maybe some pearl chain, some pearl rosary chain, which we have at the site. We have vintage pearl rosary chain for $1 a foot, which means that's a buy.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And we'd have this, and then I think I would commit on this one and not have it be a convertible piece. I've still got this clasp on here. I think I would commit, take the clasp off, and commit this to being a necklace. So let me see if I can get the clasp off and save it. Yeah, I can if I do this. Oh, you want to show the chain, Donna?
Oh, I just think it's going to be awesome.
Well, I'll show them the chain
while
I'm doing this.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring it around like that for you, and they can get the idea.
Yeah.
You know, you could use a double length of it.
You could. Yeah, this comes off easier just through taking it off there. I was trying to get it through the little loop on it, and move it, but I was going to distort it and not be able to use it again. And that's a good piece, a fold-over clasp. It's not something you want to lose. So, okay, so I'm going to commit with this. And so what I would do is I would put maybe a little bit of this in here and here, and then maybe come along the back with a little bit more brass ox chain, add a clasp, and voila, I'm done. And it says Sentimental Me. Now, is that going to work for everybody? I don't know. You know, maybe somebody doesn't want it to say Sentimental Me. I don't know. I might be better off finding another grandma earring.
Yeah.
And gluing over that. I've got a crystal here. Now this is probably too much for this. Yeah, that's kind of too much, don't you think?
That particular crystal, it doesn't fit well, but the idea of what, you know,
or
to add another
charm, or maybe a dress clip that I took the apparatus off that's broke, maybe.
What about that same one back on?
What do you mean?
The one we took off.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, what about...
Well, yeah.
Now we're making it work.
Ooh!
Yeah, because you know why we make it work because we got distance.
So what we need to do is we need to take this off. So let's see if I can pry this off. Sometimes it's really good to brainstorm.
That all went together great. It was just, you know.
I'm probably going to destroy this piece.
No, but
I won't ruin the.
No, it'll be fine.
The vintage one.
No.
But this has got to come off to make it seat. No, I hope I don't lose any stones goofing around here.
Be gentle.
Gentle. It's coming.
You're not prying the whole thing, are you? Oh.
Yeah, I want it off.
Okay, I'm scared. Is it okay?
Voila. That's fine. I'm intrepid.
Yeah, you're good.
So I would just maybe glue that on there. And so you can see in the planning stages how that's going to, you know, this is pretty.
I like it.
I'm liking this. And you know what? I don't think I'd put a lot in between here. Maybe I would use that, maybe I wouldn't.
Yeah? Once you see that
I might just take and bead something or do some chain in between there. And definitely some more brass ox chain here up to here. And I do a pearl dangle on the back clasp, which is a simple lobster. Yeah. And it's a repurposed piece.
That's what we've got.
Because these were grandma earrings that were repurposed. And this, I don't know, this was a button or something. This is what they call casein plastic. I think you say that right. It's C-A-S-E-I-N. You can look it up, Google it. They made it out of milk.
Oh.
It was really popular back in the day. You know, just a second, I'll show you something. Yeah, I got this on a buy not long ago, and I saved it to mold it.
Ooh, what's that?
This.
Casein.
Yeah, this was already antiqued when I bought it.
Well.
But this is just plain white. It doesn't even have stones set in it. Makes me wonder if it was a old store stock unfinished piece or something. But this is perfect for molding and the amazing mold putty that we carry. And making polymer clay pieces out of it. So those are little vintage jewelry lesson for today. C-A-S-E-I-N, casein. It's an old plastic. You can see the back. That was made out of milk.
Never heard of that before.
Yeah, some kind of milk solids back in the 20s, 30s. And they made jewelry, low-end jewelry, but it's really cool for molding into clay. So anyway, that's what we had for you today. And I think it was interesting what we came up with. You know, I've got a necklace on, maybe you saw me wearing it, and I was working with it, that I fixed already. I've got two in progress. I've got this one in progress. We've got this one here that we could paint and do some stuff with. One I've already done. And these are things that are probably going to sell now.
They are.
And we didn't really have to spend much more money on them, and not a lot of time either.
You
could take an afternoon, examine what you have, pull it, and start working on it and see what you come up with. And of course, if you need filler pieces, if you need tools, if you need little bits and parts, if you need chain, stuff like that, Spectra beads. Have a couple of bags of Spectra beads around. You're going to get $15 in a couple of bags of Spectra beads. You're going to have hundreds of beads, and they're all different colors, and they're glass. And
I love them.
They just add this is
Full of Spectras.
full of Spectras. I won't be without them. The different ones who come and visit with us at the creative group, they go through Spectra beads like crazy because we really love them. So anyway, and by the way, why don't you come join us at the creative group at Facebook? Bisou Boutique's creative group at Facebook. As Donna mentioned, next month we are doing cameo jewelry, so you got a little start on that with her in her segment today. The month after that, we're doing a color palette, which is metallics, crystal, and pearl. So you go a bazillion different ways with that, and you can make whatever you want that month. Then, in January through March, as I mentioned last week, we're going to do something really special. It's almost like a mini course, and we're going to do it together, and it is free. And it is Design Your Own Line. It's going to train your brain to think along themes or certain colors, things that all go together, so that you can develop your stores around different lines, and you will find your sales increase. How do I know this? Because I've done it, and I've personally gotten away from it because I've done so many different styles of things to help you learn techniques that my stuff's all over the place now. I need to rein my own self in. So even while you're repurposing your jewelry and straightening it out, you may be thinking along those lines too. So we'll have more on that too in the coming years. So there's a lot of reasons to join us at the group. There will be prizes. There are prizes every month. It's right now participation only. When we do the 3-month challenge, there will be a judged segment, and it's only going to be on positives, no negatives, because we don't want anybody to feel threatened. And you never know, the person with the simplest line could win. It doesn't mean it has to be difficult.
One other thing to keep in mind, we're all stages here.
Yes.
We're beginners, we're people that have done this for years, and we're all learning together still, different aspects.
Right, and that's just it. You've got, in our group, you've got people who are very advanced, who've been doing this 30 years plus. You've got people who started last week. And it's amazing to see what some of the people who started last week did. They came up with. I know my friend Judy, who's on our design team now, she just started a couple of years ago. And her first piece that she put on that group blew me away. And she's doing very well with her jewelry now. So it's about ideas. We gave you ideas today. So have a look at the things in your shops, in your Etsy's, in your show hampers, and see what you can do to make them more current, more saleable, and maybe get more mileage out of the parts that you've purchased from us in the past. Make more money for yourself. That's good for all of us. Yeah. So come and visit us at BisouBoutiques.com. Come visit us at the Facebook group, Bisou Boutiques Creative Group. And we can't wait to meet you, because like I always say, the only thing that's missing is you. You have a good week. See you next week.